All right, be a professional. Let's talk about this show, Pony. Welcome on in, everyone. Miami Heat lose in double overtime tonight. 123-118 to the Sacramento Kings. DeMar DeRozan taking you over his knee in double overtime. He was the one coming up with the clutch buckets there at the end. And Miami loses the war of attrition in a game that they had in hands a couple of times, man. I mean, they really had this. You know, Miami had a really commanding lead in the fourth quarter. You had a point where Kalel Ware, he had a big deflection. Jaime Jaquez goes coast to coast. The Heat were up 16. And then just like all hell breaks loose. You know, you have Ellis hitting back-to-back threes. Then Nico misses a three. Lyles hits a three. They go on this 11-0 run to get them all the way back into this game. Tyler hits this heave of a shot at the end of the shot clock, and I was like, all right, I think they're going to be able to pull this out. And, you know, just couldn't get anything at the end of regulation. Bam, with brick after brick after brick in regulation. You know, it was just it was brutal. Keegan Murray killed them. Big time threes in regulation. Miami, after Keegan Murray brings it to within 102-100, Miami has a 2-point lead, 8-second violation. Then Miami gets into a situation where Terry Rozier gets the rebound, finds Jaime Jaquez, he shoots a three, no good. Haywood Highsmith looks like he strips Sabonis. They call a foul, of course. He ties it up. And then Hero misses a couple of opportunities to win the game. Hero missed a jumper. DeRozan missed a jumper. And then Hero airballs a bucket. They go to overtime. And Heat get out to a pretty nice start on this one. You know, Bam gets a jumper over Sabonis for like the first time in forever. And you get Terry Rozier to hit a big time three. Miami looks like they're gonna start getting on this thing. Bam gets a nice bucket from Haywood Highsmith. Then Bam finds Haywood Highsmith at the line, misses a free throw though, so it's only 4 points. And then Malik Monk gets loose. Terry Rozier, he tries to foul him, or he does foul him. Miami, that brings it to within 2 because he does miss the free throw. And Jaime Jaquez, you know, just all of a sudden like lost his superpowers with his feet. He just kept like tripping over himself. Terry Rozier, though, he heaves up a three, misses it, but he gets it back, goes into the paint, misses again, gets his own rebound. He's fouled, goes to the line. He actually hit his clutch free throw, so shout out to Scary Terry. Miami goes up 112-111. Haywood Highsmith, this was the backbreaker, dude. Haywood Highsmith with 3.4 seconds left blocks Malik Monk. Jaime Jaquez gets the rebound. All he has to do is hit a couple of free throws, and at least Miami is in the safe zone of, all right, 3 ball with 3 seconds left. But instead, Jaime Jaquez misses both free throws. So basically, the Kings get a whole nother possession again after this beautiful defensive play by Haywood Highsmith. 3.4 left. They inbound it to Ellis. Bam fouls him. Thank God it wasn't for a three. I thought it was for a three. Ellis goes to the free throw line. He misses a free throw. It's 112 apiece. Heat have .9 left. Nico tries to inbound it. They barely get it in. Bam doesn't even get a shot off. They go to double overtime. Malik Monk gets the scoring going. DeRozan then hits a three. They go up 5. Keegan Murray then blocks Haywood Highsmith, or blocks Triple J, but the Heat keep the ball, keep possession. Haywood Highsmith next possession, he hits a huge three to make it 117-115. Then Bam, he gets a bucket to make it 117 apiece. That would be a triple-double for Jaime Jaquez Jr. DeMar DeRozan then gets an offensive foul. You're like, oh, maybe starting to go back the Heat's way. And DeMar DeRozan had other plans because he'd turn it over. He'd get a bucket. Bam. He gets the rebound off of a Haywood Highsmith miss. Goes to the line. What do you know? Doesn't hit his free throws. Hits 1 of 2. Miami now still trails. DeMar DeRozan then hits an onions bucket over Haywood Highsmith. Thought it was a 3 at first. Turns out to be a 2. Miami is down 121-118. Bam. Turnaround jumper. No good. And DeRozan would hit a jumper to ice it. Hit it over Tyler Hero. That was all she wrote, dude. So Miami had a lot of opportunities to win this game. And look, the Kings have been playing very good basketball. They didn't have De'Aaron Fox today. They've been playing really, really great since they have fired Mike Brown. I mean, that's one of those coaching fires that actually seems like it's working out pretty well for them. But, dude, I mean, just, I tweeted out, I'm like, I'm numb when it went to overtime. And for some reason, once the overtimes just kept going, I just kept getting angrier and sadder. And I lied. I'm not numb. I'm in a lot of pain. I care way too much about this basketball team. 0-2 in the suspension. Great job, guys. Well, to say, guys are like the NCAA program that self-sanctions yourself. Jimmy Buckets, by the way, at the arena today working out. I'm sure, once again, howling with laughter. And, they both had their moments today. Tyler Hero and Bam both had their moments today. So it doesn't feel like a game to crush them. But, Bam, I thought he got outplayed by Sabonis, which usually has been a rivalry that he has done really well in. Sabonis with a 21 point, 18 rebound, 11 assist, triple-double. Bam today, his count stats 18 and 12. Obviously, he had to play a ton of minutes. Barely trust Khalil Ware out there. But, just the dude, it's just, you just doesn't seem to, it's so crazy because it's like the less he has to think, the better. But the moment you give him any type of hesitation, you have no prayer that shot's going in, dude. If he has end of shot clock or, just has to react, they go in. But anytime there's a hesitation or he picks up his dribble or any of that stuff, you're just like, not going in. 6 of 19 from the field today for him. And I don't even know what it was in regulation because I think he had I think in OT he had 3 makes. So he was like, let me bring up the end of regulation box score. Man, what a brutal loss. They've all been brutal. This losing streak has been terrible. First you get the doors blown off of you by a terrible Utah team. Well, first you get, the whole fiasco that happens with the Pacers game, but you got completely killed in that game outside of Keyshawn Johnson and Khalil Ware nearly rallying you for like a Fugazi comeback. Then you get absolutely embarrassed by the Jazz. First game of the Jimmy Butler suspension. And, it it's hard not to feel like all of this stuff, Bam did mention today the emotional roller coaster, and you just think about like how the team was coming off of the Houston thing where Tyler Hero gets thrown to the ground and they're Hulk Hogan in it and everything's kind of feeling good and everybody's laughing and the vibes are high. And just the circus and then the embarrassment. It doesn't know. I don't, you never know with this team because they got a game in hours against the Golden State Warriors, but they're back to 500 again where, it might as well be the capital city of Heat Nation now is 500ville. And yeah, today was backbreaking because you had that big ass lead and you just couldn't like, dude, I was feeling so freaking good in this game with, because Kalel didn't have a good first stint, but his second stint was sick, dude. He had these awesome lobs he was throwing out there. They were flying high, baby. Nico had this sick, I love Tall Time. Tall Time? I love it, dude. Nico, steal and slam. You're like, these babies are cruising. Then you had Kalel Ware blocking DeMar DeRozan, denied access to the warehouse. Duncan Robinson hit a 3. Then Kalel Ware gets another slam. I'm just like, baby, we might be cruising to an easy victory. Foolish, stupid thought. And yeah, I just, I'm sad. I am sad. That should be I should just walk around with a sign with that. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, Bam. Bam today through regulation was 3 of 13. Jesus. Whew. Brutal, dude. I don't know what to say about that one, man. That has been a thing. And and Tyler was no great shakes either. Like Tyler started great, but he had his opportunities there at the end. Teams are really pressuring him now. Like the people, the Heat are the people are really like, and you knew this was going to happen with Tyler because this has been a thing with Tyler in his career is that they're going to send doubles, they're going to try and trap, they're going to try and get pressure right as he gets across half court. They did it a ton today. They did it with Sabonis, and this happened and because he's had 2 clear path fouls in 2 games. And somebody else has to step up. But he did not. He hit that one crazy 3 at the end of the shot clock, and that was like the last bit of magic he had tonight. That was a lot. And to those two, like I look at it like this with Bam and with Bam and Tyler, it's like, yes, Tyler's had an all-star season. He's been tremendous, and Bam has, been an offensive just drain this season. He just, he is. You definitely like could build a fortress with the bricks that he's been throwing out there. But the thing with me with these two, it's been interesting since the Jimmy stuff. And I know it's only been 2 games, but these two, everybody dubbed this. This is the Tyler and Bam era. And it's a little bit like, hey, guys, the training wheels are off now. Okay, if Jimmy's not coming back, and I don't believe he's coming back, right? Although keep throwing these up. Who knows? Losing makes you do, will make you revisit your values, right? But these two have the opportunity now to take the franchise. And they do have the opportunity to do a little something. And they've just looked unready. They haven't looked ready. And especially these last couple of games. It's different when it's like, oh, Jimmy's coming back. And that's kind of always how it felt. Like, this isn't the first time we've had the Kentucky guys go out there and have moments to shine because Jimmy misses time in the regular season all the time. That's not new. But you always have it. That's why I refer to it as training wheels, because it's like, but you always kind of knew, like, you didn't have to study the bike yourself, right? eventually, like if you've ever taught your kids how to ride a bike, eventually you got to let the back of the seat go and they got to do it themselves. And they just haven't looked anywhere near ready. Bam, more so this season on offense. Just, and I know that he's got to look. Nobody does he has to cover for more things more than me. I get it. I get accused every day. They're like, "When are you gonna call him out?" I'm like, I have, dude. What do you mean? Like, do you think I'm ever gonna get to the point where I'm gonna call him an overrated bum and not worth the contract? Well, I'll tell you. Like, I've said this year, if you guys have missed it, I've said multiple times that the torch was passed to you this summer. It was passed to you. They gave you the contract. Jimmy didn't get his contract. Pissed him off. Nothing personal, but it did. And and that's just not rocket science. It was obvious. What do you mean? The guy, my Robin, got the contract and I didn't get the contract? Games played be damned. You know who the needle mover is. And when you have the Wade ceremony, they're mentioning Bam. And it's always bam, bam, bam. Dude, the training wheels are off. No more. There's no more. Jimmy's gonna catch you on the trust fall. I mean, on the good end of things today, if you want to play that game, because, Jaime Jaquez, for the most part, before blowing those free throws, man, he had a really good game today. Triple-double for Jaime, which is a really great sign for this team, especially because if anybody's going to step up in the Jimmy role, it is going to be Jaime. Put him in the starting lineup today. They put Nico back to the bench, which I like, because I like Nico coming off the bench. I liked him with the Kalel Ware minutes. I don't really quite understand why Duncan. I don't know if it's just too much of a defensive mistrust from Spo or what. I'm guessing that's what that is why he's not going to put Duncan, Jaime, Tyler, Terry. I'm guessing it's just too much on Haywood and too much on Bam defensively. But Jaime had a great game, dude. I mean, like, what could you say? 16 points, 12 and 10 with 5 steals. That's a great, he really filled it up. He came with a lot of clutch plays. Haywood Highsmith today, dude, he had this bucket at the end of the third quarter, just oozing culture, but the free throws, dude, I mean, just, you're going to stare at that on the box score all night and be like, well, you missed 6 of them, you lost by 5. And, crazy. Right back at it. Right back at it. It is no rest for the weary for the Miami Heat. And we'll see, what tomorrow's Jimmy Butler rumors bring. But right now, I'm just going to go cry into my pillow.